Hey, go figure, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning real estate marketing show with Ruthie Rocks, Ruth Allbrand, and I am Marketing Max. Today we have a returning guest, Miss Anetta Rapogel. Did I say your last name right, Anetta?
You did. Thank
All
you.
right, fantastic. So she is a rising star. She had a great breakout year in 2020 here, focused on continuing to do the things necessary to build a business in the real estate world. And she's going to talk about to us about what she's going to do here in 2021 to kickstart off the year right. But before we get into that, Ruth, what is happening in Las Vegas?
Well, our inventory is slowly getting to the danger mark. We're 1.1 months of inventory, and we just listed 172 homes yesterday, which is really fantastic. We closed about 198 though, and that seems to be the trend. We're not listing as many as we're closing, so that's why the inventory is going to continue to decline. So right now we're at 1.1. The median price is $347,000. We still have homes flying off the shelf. We list them, they get offers on them almost immediately. So it's been a tumultuous January so far with trying to keep up and having enough properties to show people. And I will tell you that looking back into December, the number of homes over $500,000 more than tripled in December from last December, and was one of the highest months of those types of homes that have sold in 10 years. So
wow.
Yeah, the Californians are coming is what I'm saying.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So
We just got to convince people to sell now at this point.
Right. We're averaging 98 sales a day, and that's a calendar days. So just to give you an idea, and new homes have increased 20%. We were doing like 800. Now we're doing 1,000 a month. So the new homes are flying off the shelf as well. So we'll see what the new home builders are up to. I haven't seen any reports yet. I should probably see maybe this weekend or the beginning of the week. They usually send out their report as to how many people are walking through. I get a report of how many people are walking into the new homes and then how many sales they're having. So we'll see. I'll report that on Monday, everybody. It should be an interesting number because I know that new homes are selling just flying off the shelf as well. And I don't know if we have the builders pulled enough permits last year to accommodate, this surge we're having.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's good news I think this boom's going to probably be here for another like 2 years here, a year and a half, maybe 2 years before maybe it settles down a little bit, but ride it.
Yeah, those are the positive thinkers. And then we have the naysayers that say, oh my God, we're crashing. The world's going to crash. So, you just have to pick a side, whatever you think is a good one.
Right. I don't know if there's going to be a crash as I reevaluate things. People have, unlike what we saw in 06 and 07, we don't have one person owning 20 homes, right? Where they put 0% down and had no equity in any of them.
Right.
And so, the demand is being driven by actually real market forces here, and not just artificial kind of inflated fraud that was happening in the financial crisis. So
exactly. And I am sure that the appraisers and the lenders are very cognizant
correct
of what happened in 2006. So nobody wants that again.
Yeah, no doubt. So on to the lady of the half hour, I guess. Here.
Yeah. Anetta, thank you so much for joining us, Max. I just want to say that I've known Anetta for a couple years now, and I have just seen her rise and get her act together. And if I have a quote here by Nelson Mandela that reminds me of you. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. And I know that, Anetta, you have just tried things and gotten back. You've had a hard time sometimes with your time management, and you have conquered it though, which I applaud you for that, because many people, once you fall off that horse 8 times, they don't get up the 9th time, but you have.
So that's a good
Thank
segue
you.
and a great question, Anetta. I mean, what has been, well, first of all, let's talk about some numbers here. What'd you do last year, transaction wise? I know the last time we had you on, you had a goal of going up from maybe 2 transactions a month to now maybe 4, 5 transactions a month, right? So tell us a little about your numbers, and I'm going to ask you about the time management challenges you had.
So my goal is always against myself, and to constantly do better than I did the day before, the year before. So last year when COVID hit, I made a very specific plan, and I implemented it with like 100% with Ruth's help. Like I followed everything, but I was unwavering on that. So I ended my year with my goal, and I had 7 houses in escrow in December.
Oh, wow.
5. So like I closed with the busiest. So I did 29 transactions, 29 sales, and 5 commercial leases.
Oh, fantastic.
Commercial leases for me, because I only focus on restaurants, gas stations, and bars. That was a big one. So it was 2 years in the progress, but we closed it during all of this craziness. So it just shows me, I'm like, oh, so this is what we're doing. And I made the difference to me, because I really feel like I'm helping these small businesses, and that's my passion project. So I was able to keep up with the information and the knowledge and put it into action and see these people bring their businesses to life, which was just hands down, like really fulfilling.
Right.
How did you get the 6 homes in escrow? That's really stellar.
So, and it was, the other part of that was really exciting, was because I took Buffini and I did the layering process. So 3 of those were like my first proof that it really, the layering process worked. So I had done some advertising in my local gym, and then my local area, I really focus on my farm. So, and then I do the mailers, then I do the Facebook ads, and then I do like my live videos. I go to businesses around my farm, just introduce people to the businesses, introduce them to the schools, introduce them to like, oh, if you're here, maybe try this. And then I do a drink of the month at a bar somewhere around that area. And then a couple of times the bars haven't been open. So I was just like outside with my little postcard. This bar open, so this is where you want to go. And I guess it's just I'm not afraid of embarrassing myself to just put it out there. So maybe that was, so what was exciting was like, yeah, I've seen you out of the gym for like the last year, and then I got your mailer, and then somehow you just showed up on my Facebook. I'm like, oh, really? So that was the layering, and I'm like, oh, it's working. It's really working.
It's working, right?
It does, but then it comes kind of full circle. So that was how I was able to do that, was through, it was everybody that I'd contacted before that just finally reached out.
Well, fantastic.
In my pipeline. And I have actually 3 houses in escrow now, and I have 3 new listings.
Congratulations.
I'm right on target with my January. My goal is 4 a month. And I am consistently hitting that goal since September.
Well, fantastic. Yeah, so 29 transactions last year, right? Plus 5 leases is what I heard, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Very thankful.
So your goal is 4 transactions. So that's 48 transactions this year,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Wow, that's ambitious. I love it. I love it. What I like about that story that you just told about, doing your videos, is even when the bars were closed, right? You still went and did the video.
Yes.
I can tell you, that's consistency in action here. And I can, from a observer standpoint, if I'm watching you and I'm following you going through the layering process, and I see that, wow, she still went out and did that. If she's going to work hard on her marketing, she's probably going to work hard for me if she sells my house, right? I mean, that's the psychological kind of connection that people make unconsciously here. And that's the beauty of working hard and going out there and, just being unwavering in your goal. So tell us a little bit about, well, I'm going to take a step back here, because Ruth mentioned it, because I think this would be valuable for a lot of real estate agents in general and people running their own businesses, is the time management aspect is so key and so important. There's so many distractions, so many things that can get in the way. So tell us a little bit about where you struggled and how, in working with Ruth or whatever you did to get back on track to build something that, provided some consistency in your time management.
So, so every so often I see myself falling off the wagon. I'm like, no. So I have I have it like printed all over my house. So like right from the first thing in the morning when I'm doing my makeup, there's my schedule. So I do write my schedule out, but then I also, I like helping everybody. I mean, I'm not altruistic enough to where when people call me with the situations, I'd be like, oh, and then it was mentally distracting because then I'm worried about their problem. I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. So now like I just compartmentalize in which order I'm going to deal with the situations that come up for all of us. So when I get up in the morning, my first priority is to get my business going because that's my livelihood. Like I can't help them if I'm not on track with my goal because that's distracting to me. So with that, like before I even allowed to have my coffee, I post to my Facebook page, I post to my LinkedIn, I post the stats, and I post my daily article on my blog. So then I'm allowed to go have my coffee. So it's kind of like a game I go with myself. Then I don't answer emails until after I make my 25 calls for that morning, because there's going to be an email, somebody's going to have an issue, and I'm going to want to fix that. Sometimes I have to fix them, and sometimes it's just distracting to my brain. So I kind of stole this from the 4-Hour Work Week, which it's like when you stop acknowledging like catastrophes, fewer and fewer show up. So when people are like, I'm not that person you call because, you sprained your pinky toe and now you can't do anything else. It's like, but I do answer every call when it's somebody that's in a listing because I understand that, this is their biggest asset and they sell that. But I've just trained people to understand that, like, I will call you back. I will absolutely always call you back. It may not be before 12 o'clock. But it will always be, and it may be after 3, but I say that on my voicemail. If you leave this message, I will get back to you today. If it's before 3 o'clock, I'll get back to you today. If it's after 3 o'clock, I'll get back to you tomorrow. And that has unwaveringly helped me to understand, to people to be like, okay, well, you know what, maybe it's not a priority. So then they'll get me all at once versus like 15 phone calls.
Oh, fantastic. So you make 25 calls every day.
I make more than that. My minimum is 25.
Okay.
Like I don't earn breakfast until I do my 25.
You leave voicemails?
I do voicemails and then I do a message video. So I take like a little video and then I change it all the time. So Facebook only allows you to message 50 people. So I do my Facebook leads. So I reach out to them. I put every single one of my new Facebook leads into my database. And then I send them a personal message like, you know what, if you were here in town, I'd be having coffee with you. Since we can't have coffee, let's just, I'm a real person. I'm not an ad. And I'll do that like in front of a Starbucks, or I'll do that like, oh, I see you're looking at houses on the east side. I'll be like in front of a community. This is an east side community. That's something you want to hear more about. Let me know. I can get you on a virtual tour. So I change my videos all the time, but I really pride myself in putting like my personality out there. So it's not going to be for everybody, but this is what you're going to get when you call me. So I kind of give you kind of a heads up on what to expect.
No, that is fantastic. That's great. So you're actually doing the video messaging. So what do you do? Are you doing it from your phone? Are you doing it on Facebook Messenger?
I do it on Facebook Messenger. So I take the video, I do the video live, and then I put it on my Facebook and the changes. And then I take that message, the video, and then I do like another one because sometimes it doesn't let you messenger the lives.
Right.
And Facebook only lets you do 50 people a day. So anybody that's liked my page or anybody that's gone on there, I send them. So I send 50 messages daily, and then I try to follow up with them. The following up, I'm mastering that to make sure that other things don't get lost. So this last couple of weeks, I've really mastered to skim through there, but I'm still keeping those like, I know you're just busy, so I don't take it personal. You're gonna get back to me, and I keep reaching out to him.
Okay, fantastic. So how many have reached back from like the Facebook leads that you've gotten? And
some of them would say not now, some of them not, like say no thank you, a couple of things. So Ruth, I actually had somebody that said, I've been getting your emails, never talked to him, he never answered my messages, and he just reached out to me and he wants to look at a $500,000 house retiring from California because I put him automatically into my where it sends out my messages, my daily blog. So I just keep sending him information. And it was, so that person I'm starting to work with now, which is really exciting. A lot of people have gone back to me but they haven't bought yet, but 2 of them I'm actively working with. Ruth gave me a great idea about some of them that haven't answered, like responded at all. And it's perfect because you know what? I don't want to waste your time or mine. So if you're really not interested, just let me know and I'll quit messaging you because I respect your time. So at least I'll get some engagement that way to, first of all, know whether they're doing that. You know, let me know if you want to opt out. It's not a problem. And I'm going to do that. And so I will let Ruth know, you know, how that works. But I thought that was a great idea because at least they get them one way or another. Right. And they go, well, why were you looking if you don't want to? So I can either start the conversation or I can just respect their time and privacy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that sign up for the on these ads that are just curious, you know, and they really don't. They really are not going to move to Vegas. Then there's some that, well, you know, they're thinking about it. And so those are the people that you want. And if you take 500 leads and whittle it down to 100 people, that's okay. That's 8 deals a month at some point in time, right? For a year. So.
And I'm in it for the long haul. So just like when I was training, you know, I'm like, okay, well, this didn't work. I'm going to do that. But I will be unwavering in the process because you can't argue with what it does for you. If you would have told me when I met Ruth, I was like, oh yeah, live. And I did a video, my first video. I mean, I thought it was retarded. And then I retook it like 15 times and then I hated it. So so live for me works because otherwise I'm going to do them over and over again. And like, I don't even watch them. I hardly ever watch my videos because I think that's just more of my true personality will come out, flaws and all, which is really what I want to project. So Facebook Live works for me. And if you would have told me when I met Ruth in 2019 that, and I finally put it into action, like consistently, I did it like here and there, but consistently in 2020, what it would have done for my business, I wouldn't have believed you. Like,
well, you know, to your point, Barbara Streisand, they had an interview with her. She said she never watches her movies and she never listens to her songs that are on her albums. And now, you know, on whatever device they're on, she doesn't. And I think that, you know, she's got that mentality to be a perfectionist and overanalyze. Analysis paralysis doesn't get anything done. No. And you have conquered that. That's wonderful.
Well, Facebook Live helps you conquer that because it's like, yeah, you're there. You're there. It's not gonna makes it easier. But that's just being human. And I just really think people forget. And Jimmy said this, but I had adopted that before. It's like, we're real estate counselors and we bring the human experience to guiding you through the process. And somebody had shared with me why attorneys are sometimes called counselors, because they really just counsel you. They show you the facts, they show you the law, and they navigate you through whatever that process is. And I borrowed that, and I've been using that in my business for the last year, that I am your real estate counselor.
Yeah, John always says, he says, I am not a real estate salesperson. I let you buy. All I am is a counselor. You buy, I counsel. I don't sell. Right. And he's gotten over the years more fans with that explanation of what he does, who he is.
Mm.
Well, it's great, and I'm borrowing it from you and Jimmy and John, from people that I found you.
So Anetta, you try Ruth's suggestion for a while with the people that are not responding, and then after a while, I'll try this if you're willing to. I would create a video and say, "I'm not giving up on you. I'm committed, right? Until you buy, or until you cancel. Either way, one of those things is going to happen, right? You're going to either opt out or you're going to actually eventually do business with me. So I'm here to stay for the long run, right? And stay committed. And so when people hear kind of stuff like that, they're like, okay, I mean,
great point, Max, because
that is true.
The secret is in the sauce, or the devil's in the details. However you want to look at it, it's the message. It's what the message says contextually.
So I always want to do that. Like, are you opting out? Oh, you kidder, like from misery. Like, oh, you don't really need to do that. Was that an accident? Because I know you want me to sell your house. Like, I haven't figured it. So we'll see. Right. But that's a great idea. I'll do both of them. I am game to borrow. I am so thankful to have so many great people around that put themselves out there like you guys and share your ideas and put them into action, because I have no problems putting things into action.
Mm-hmm. The person who gives up first loses is my philosophy, right? And this show is a testament to Ruth's unwavering commitment to this community here, right? It's not like she generates, 1,000 or, a ton of views on this, but we just get up every Saturday morning and we just do this. Now she's getting up every day at 9 a.m. doing a show, right? But soon enough, though, I mean, her business, and I know, she shared with me, I mean, they're doing well as well. We may not see the views, but the effects of people kind of hearing about it pays off here. And that's going to do the same for you in what you're doing. So Teresa here, Cordova Estrada, has a question for you. How long does it take you to do this in the morning here? So tell us, what time you get up, what time you start your posts, what time you start your calls, and then at what time you start your email.
I never start my calls before 9 a.m.
Okay.
And then I am the queen of copy, cut, and paste. So like I have my laptop and then my desktop, and then I'm copying this and I'm putting that. And then I did hire somebody to put the data. I never let anybody answer anything personal for me on Facebook. Everything is my own message. But I did hire, it's called Tasks Every Day, and they take the leads and put them into my database.
Okay.
So I can't type, and I'd rather watch PageRank. So that's just but I put them in every day, but I answer all my own Facebook stuff. So like the question, maybe like an hour. I got it down to about an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes quickly once you just master it. Not the first couple times it was a bit down.
A long time.
An hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, what you were talking about with Ruth and putting herself out there, because I had done the Buffini and then I was seeing Ruth like every week. And then there was kind of like, it was like the sun. And then I moved into the shade. I'm like, well, where is she? Like, because the holidays came. And then when I went back to Buffini yesterday, I was just like excited all week. It's just the energy in the room and the people that you meet. And then because, like you said, every day you get up and you put yourself out there. And unless you put yourself out there, you never know what you get back. And she is the best example of anybody I've ever met. I mean, that does that every single day. And I'm so grateful for you and for what you've done and for what you do for our community. And so thank you.
So go ahead, Ruth, go ahead.
I just always say, none of us came aboard in real estate in the same ship, but we're all in the same boat, and we've got to, and I just want to help people. I just want to help people get over their fears. And I'm kind of taking, a little bit of credit from helping you because, but you get the 99% of the credit because you actually did it. And Gary Vee, and we all say, 99% of you are not going to do what we tell you to do, but the 1% that do will be successful. And you've proven that so well.
Right.
Well, Gary Vee's line. Then she introduced me to Gary Vee, and it was scratch your itch, and I'm like, I don't want to itch, ew. So I always think of that when you're not going to do it. I'm like, well, scratch your itch, and so that's Gary Vee's line.
What was your turning point, right? What made you decide I'm going to listen to what Ruth says, do this consistently, and not look back? Like, when was that point, and do you remember what happened and your thought process behind that?
So I was leading up to it, but then when I had, because she pointed me in the direction for the data, the technology, and like really showed me where to connect the dots, that built up my confidence enough to be like, you know what, I want to master my craft, whatever I'm doing. So a lot of people will be like, oh, well, when I lose 5 pounds, I'll go to the gym. Oh, well, when I do that, I'll clean my house before the housekeeper comes. So I was kind of like making sure, I wanted to make sure that I had enough accurate, true information to offer to help people to master my job. And now I've like realized, mastering this business is going to be an ongoing process, which I love because I will never get bored. So
you will never get bored.
Die boredom, and that's why he was calling to me. And then the other part was like, I really am a technology potato. And then she's just like, oh, you do this and you do this and you do this. So if you would have told, so it helped me connect the dots when I realized where I wanted to go, what I needed to do that. And then this laid out all the avenues. So I knew what I wanted to accomplish. Then when COVID hit, I had, a very limited amount of money, and I'm like, I'm either all in or I'm going to do something else. So I took every penny I had into my marketing and I followed it religiously. And
so can you share with us, how much have you spent? Like, how much are you spending on Facebook, like advertising and doing the leads? Is that
so I built up to this, okay. And then I always make sure, because I have it down to the penny, and I did what's called a MindMeister. So it lets you see visual, because I'm not a spreadsheet. So MindMeister lets you map it out. So I have, and it's like you can draw it. So I have Facebook ads, GeoFarm, and referrals, and each one of those has a trait. So I let it down to there. So my first video last January led me to a buyer that produced $29,000 for me.
Okay. Okay.
So that was a pretty good like feather to be like, I believe in Facebook. And I just kind of like let that down ever since. So I've always had it to where like my GeoFarm has to pay for itself. So it shows me that it is paying for itself in that way. So 6, 8, 10, I mean, so Facebook ads, I've spent close to $5,200 and it's produced 17, well, so if you count the 26,000, and so again, let me just say, it may not have produced that lead right away, but somebody said, oh my gosh, I saw your video, or I saw this. So I've gotten a lot more from my videos than I have for the ads, but the ads are just now coming in because I've only been doing those religiously for like 4 months.
Okay.
And it was during the COVID, then it was during the holidays, and it was during this, but I believe in them because I'm getting feedback.
Okay, good. So religiously 4 months, about $5,200, roughly about, let's call it $1,000.
It was last year, $5,200.
Okay.
For the last 4 months, I amped it up. So I've gotten over 3,000 likes on Facebook, which puts you to a different platform. And then now I'm consistently getting 5 to 12 leads a day.
Oh, wow.
Facebook. Now it's up to me to do something with those. So, and I'm following up with them.
Sure.
Like, and then then sometimes I'll be like, I haven't followed up with anybody. So then I have it ready to go for the next morning. And I make sure I do that because everything is in the follow-up. Everything is in the follow-up. Everything.
Yeah, everything is definitely.
That's on me. And I can't stand wasting money. So like if there's like a pair of shoes, I'll be like, if you follow up with them, you can get those shoes. Or if you follow up with them, you can get this. You know, so those each person represents something that I want to accomplish. Like I'm remodeling my kitchen. Well, I won't buy my new oven that I want desperately until I get 7 consistent people off my Facebook ad. So that's to me is motivating because I'm like,
oh, fantastic. There you go. So I mean, that's a nice little trick. You know, you're correlating something really tangible for you, you know, to achieve so that it motivates you. But what I like about it, once you kind of get your statistics down, maybe for this year as you do more consistent ads, I mean, you know, I think online Facebook advertising probably generates 1 to 2% of the leads actually will eventually turn into something. Like within like 6 months, right? 1 to 2%. So if you're getting 12 to 15 a day, that means every 10 days, you're probably going to run into like at least one qualified, you know, lead of some sort that generates something, right? And
Facebook leads.
So, yeah, and it all is going to depend on your follow-up. But, you know, after 30 days, I mean, that's 300 leads a year. That's 1,200 or what? 3,000, 3,600. Right. So 1% of that is 36 transactions. I mean,
and that's my 36. I mean, I want to do,
Yeah. And Anetta and I are going to get together next week, and we're going to do a little show, Anetta, that you can download then, and we're going to create an ad around it. Great. I want to experiment with you because I know you're all into, you know, the Facebook, and Facebook is just continuing to get a stronger hold in our market. I mean, they have this new page experience, which is they're rolling out, which is going to give people extra benefits when they do advertising and how they can put themselves out there. Facebook is positioning themselves, I think, I know they are, to be like a TV station. And so, you know, the people that, if you have likes, like you said, you need to see if you have more followers than likes, because likes are going to go away. And what you want to everybody is you want more followers than you have likes. So all the people right now that like your page, we're going to go over this on the 28th of January. We're going to go out there and we're going to ask them, please follow me, because the likes are going away. And I want to know if you still want to get my, you know, all my information in your feed. So there's lots of things that they're doing huge. They bought a CRM called Customer with a K. So they're going to be enhancing their CRM, their contact management system, to where you can message people, get in touch with people through their CRM using Facebook. That's going to be huge. That's going to be a big time saver for everybody. They've also done this thing called, I think it's is it collab, where they are collaborating now with musicians and letting musicians, the word collaboration, they're letting the musicians do all these streams and putting them together to create a show. And I have a number here. I wrote down when I was finding out about this. It's amazing, the million, I think it's 43 million. Yes, 43 people streamed to this collaboration project that Facebook is working on. And so Facebook is just going, out there, and all these things are going to bring more and more people to the platform. So I know right now the stock went down, 51, Twitter and Facebook stock lost 51 billion last 2 weeks or something. But when everything goes down, you need to go up. And so I don't want anybody to get discouraged about anything, because Facebook is doing so many things behind the scenes, and we're going to teach you in class how to be part of that new community, because it's going to be awesome. I really predict that.
No, it really is. Yeah, and the game is still content building, right?
Yes.
In the quality of the content. And one of the things, Anetta, I like the lives too, and I think you're going to get a lot of, if you can implement something that's going to be a little bit more evergreen for you, that talks about Vegas, talks about the community, right? I still think that that will add another layer to your layering process.
That's what we're going to be doing, like with Ruth. I'm going to be doing, it's called Vegas 411.Vegas. Just about what is going on in the city, because that's a lot of the calls. Was anything open? What's going on there? So not just focused on real estate, but I love my community. I'm so proud to live here. So proud of how Vegas is going to rebound and all the things that we're doing. So it's going to be 411.Vegas, and it's just all the information about all the great things going on here.
Yeah, fantastic. Wow, this is exciting. I'm really excited for you, Anetta, for and like we said, 1%. You're the 1%. Right, that actually followed Ruth's, counsel to the T here, and here we are, 2020, a year where the country shut down for shut down for 4 months, but you still did 29 transactions last month, and the fact that you upped your marketing, right? I've been telling Ruth, and I've been talking about this, is like during a downturn. In the good times, you got to save your money, because there'll be periods of a downturn, right? That's inevitable. But during the downturns, when you actually up your marketing dollars, right? Because everybody else is scared and they're retreating, and they've spent all their money in the good times. And the people that actually saved up and prepare for that time period and up their marketing and up their effort, they come out of it like double, tripling their business over time. So, good for you for really doing that in the last half of last year.
Thank you so much.
And we have a group of people that are taking Buffini's Pathways to Mastery Advanced. And Anetta, we didn't really poll the room yesterday, but do you see his new approach to things and how deeper this particular course is going to go into increasing your business and your outreach to people?
Absolutely. There's lots of great coaches, and everybody connects with one. And I'm not one of those starstruck people, but now I'm just like, oh, okay. So like he said, I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I think it's so funny. Like I'm reading it every morning before I go to bed, and then I read like one little thing before I go to sleep, and it truly just makes me happy, and it motivates me. I feel like I can be pretty self-motivating, and then when I get somebody that can motivate me, and then also show me the direction, it's not just like, oh, here, go do this, and like, okay, it's like do this and do this and do this, like, and you do it, and it's just like, and it works. It's just exactly what he said it was. So, yay.
Yeah, and the one thing that I like, because we've seen how quickly our lives can change based on what goes on these social media platforms. We're just renting time here, everybody. And most of the platforms are totally free, but at the end of the day, what if they went away? And so what Buffini teaches you is that you have to there's 3 other ways that you contact people, and that, unless they shut down the post office and we run out of gas,
Right.
right? Because we can't do pop-bys and we can't mail things. There's still alternative ways to contact people, and we have to do both. We
Right.
have to do both.
And the gold rush is in building the database. That's you
Yes.
got to get phone numbers and emails. I mean, that's the name of the game here in any business. And once you gather enough, then that database becomes the ever, the golden goose that lays the golden egg for you over and over again if you
Over and over.
consistently farm it and take care of it and stay in contact with it. So even if these platforms go away, the people who are gathering, using Facebook merely without even taking any business, but just finding qualified people who are, have a phone number and an email address. I mean, it's worth it, because last year you spent $5,000 in even that one transaction, 26,000. I mean, but on top of that, you got probably, 3, 4, 5, 600 names and numbers of people that eventually will turn into some transaction as well. So, that's great stuff. So we're running almost at the top of the hour here, Anetta, and I want to ask you, if I was a struggling real estate agent right now, coming out of 2020, maybe I didn't take the necessary steps. Maybe I got in my own way and told myself stories of how I couldn't do it because of this whole thing. What would you tell them? What would you tell me if I was that agent today?
So start today. Like it's not too late. So sometimes you'll be like, oh, I didn't do that yesterday, so I can't do it the rest of the week. So start right now. Start 5 minutes from now. Do it. Like if you're thinking that you didn't do enough yesterday, then do a video right this second in your front yard. And that's the best advice I can give somebody, is that yesterday's gone, today is right now. I mean, this is Ruth's line. I'm not one of those people that like quote like, oh, well, Ruth said, or like Oprah said. But it's so true. Like it resonates with you. It's like, get off the bus and get on the plane. Like, so everybody's on the bus. It's like, well, I don't know. Okay, well, why would you want to be everybody? Get off the bus and get on the plane. And if it takes starting today, then just go out in your backyard. And that's where I did my first video, because I was comfortable. I didn't, my dogs love me. They're looking like, and I did my first video in my backyard. So go and do your first video in your backyard. Get over what it is you need to get over. You're never going to like the way your hair looks. You're never going to like the way your voice sounds. Somebody's always going to make fun, say something goofy, but just start.
Just start. And you're living proof. When you're living the best version of yourself, you inspire others to live the best versions of themselves. And we're going to continue to bring you on the show and inspire people, because you are living the best version of yourself, and you've adapted. You want to get better every day, and that's an awesome characteristic.
Mm-hmm. And you've overcome all the self-doubt and the noise and the voice that is in our head, and just let your personality shine. That's what I like about you, Anetta, is like you just let it flow, and it's you either like me or you don't. I mean, and that's
the stage in my life. Yeah, I'm like, well, thank you.
All right, Ruth, what's going on this week in classes?
In classes, oh my gosh, we just had a great agency class on Friday, and so everybody there was really concerned about more classes. And so Monday, let me get rid of all these things here. We have cyber secure. You need to be cyber secure on the internet. And one of the things that we brought up in the agency class that everybody needs to know that's a real estate agent is that there is an NRS statute 645254 that basically says you cannot be negligent, and you have to protect your client's interests. And if you don't attend the cyber secure class and learn how to be cyber secure, and then all of a sudden somebody gets hurt by a hacker that you're dealing with, and you're in front of that commission, and you didn't take the class, or you didn't learn how to protect this internet world we live in, you could be subject to a fine or suspension. So it's really serious. And we went over it pretty thoroughly in the class. And a lot of people signed up because of that, because they understand now that, hey, this is just not about having good passwords, right? This is about protecting my clients and protecting myself for my clients. And it's a great, great class. And Jack Lindbergh has studied this for years. It's a core class now, and we're working on it becoming a requirement for every real estate agent. We're working with the commission on that, the real estate commission. So everybody, please sign up at bee.vegas Monday, January 18th, 10 to 1, free lunch if you join us in class. We have more and more people coming to the classroom because they want to come and see people.
Yeah.
So that's a wonderful thing. Yeah, and we have enough to accommodate. We stay within the guidelines, and you have to wear a mask. But other than that, it's great learning, great fun, and you really need to be serious about taking this class. This is so important that the National Association of Realtors has actually bought into the insurance program for cybersecurity and made it very affordable for real estate agents. But at the end of the day, the insurance is not the thing that's going to keep you out of trouble. What's going to keep you out of trouble is knowing how to stay cyber secure and keep your clients cyber secure. So that's the main class for this week.
Oh, fantastic. So we'll have Anetta back on again, because I'm curious to see if she's going to accomplish her 4 transactions a month this year. So maybe we'll do a check-in at the 6-month mark, Ruth, here, and then at the end of the year, the first part of 2022 as well. So appreciate you coming on, Anetta. Always great to see you. Right?
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Ruth. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
Yes. Thank you. And one other thing, everybody, Anetta, I told you I'd put your phone number up here, and I need to do that. So let's put Anetta, if anybody wants to get in touch with Anetta, give me your phone number, Anetta.
792-672-5646.
Okay, everybody, Anetta, and there you go. If you are watching from California, or if you're watching from Vegas and you need, an awesome realtor counselor, this is Anetta, and she's full of energy, full of professionalism. You can't get better than that.
Yeah.
So there you go, Anetta, and hopefully this when this goes out across the country, you'll get a phone call.
Yeah.
I will. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for all you do.
All right.
All right, everybody.
Have a good week, everybody. Bye-bye.